station. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
Hi there. Welcome to another edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from Go Live Vegas Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am Aaron Phillips, depending upon potato. I am Aaron Phillips. Joining me here on the dais, Mr. Scott Hosey. How are you, sir?
Doing great. How was your week?
My week is very good, has been so far, midway through. And the man with the biggest name on the intro, which we don't understand why, Mr. Matt Mullen joins us here. How are you, Bart?
I'm doing pretty good. How about
Excellent.
yourself?
Doing okay for a Wednesday. And joining us with the smallest name on the screen, he is our bellboy. We love him. We love to hate him. You hate to love him, Mr. Jason Piper. How are you, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
All right, turn up your mic. So there we go. Now, please repeat that.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Say hello to my little friend. Thank you for joining us tonight. As always, just a few little pieces of business. Listen, we got giveaways. I don't know if you could probably see them down there in the wide shot. If you could take the Twitter off of there for a second, if you don't mind, sir. Look at the bottom of the screen. You'll see a couple of pieces down there. The one in the orange mask, Lucha Underground, that is up for grabs tonight. Is that correct, gentlemen?
That is correct, and it's signed by probably about 12 Lucha Underground stars.
Excellent.
You are correct, sir.
And we will tell you when and how to win that tonight on tonight's show, and we'll talk about the other pieces in a little bit. Our phone number, 702-329-6947. If you're outside the U.S., as always, 855-502-4321. And we are, of course, monitoring all of our chat rooms and watch parties. If you can all just join the watch parties, it makes it easier for us so we don't flip around between all the different comments boxes. Send us a live tweet, though. We do monitor Twitter, and your tweet will show up live right there on the screen. If you have a comment or a question, send the hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere. And, of course, we are live on Facebook. As you know, we're also on Twitter, Periscope, our YouTube channel, and, of course, the Go Live Vegas website, golive.vegas, and, of course, the downloadable app, Go Live Vegas, to your phone. Take us on the go. We can go with you.
Feel better?
Yeah, I feel like I got all that off my chest. And Twitch. I have somebody's volume is up. Whose volume is up? It's probably mine. Just check all your volumes. I hear somebody's volume is up. All right. And Twitch. How do we get on Twitch? Is it Go Live Vegas Twitch? Okay, so look for Go Live Vegas on Twitch. Now we've added that. And with that, hey, our guest tonight, and I will formally introduce him after our commercial break, but Mr. Bill Anderson.
Yeah, Big Bill Anderson.
Yeah, former wrestler, ring announcer, trainer of some of the biggest names in the industry today, and a man I can't wait to hear some of his stories.
Absolutely. He's a great guy. I've been friends with him for many, many years. And just his knowledge and who he's trained and, being a ring announcer, a trainer, a wrestler, encompasses everything.
Yeah, he's got it from all angles to be able to You can see some of the pictures flashing on the screen there of some of his class and himself and whatnot. So we'll get into all that as we bring him on in a little bit. And again, please remember you can chat with us through our chat boxes or the chat rooms and all those other methods. All right, well, you know what it is time for, gentlemen? I hear voices. Matt, kick us off.
Rumor is Charlotte Flair is possibly going after a men's championship.
Been done.
Been done by better people.
Not interested.
No.
I've never liked those storylines anyway. I granted Tessa's tremendous. China did it in the Attitude Era way back when. I am not a big fan of the ladies wearing and going after the men's belts. That's just me. Be interested in hearing what Bill has to say, being as old school as he is coming up. So that's something I'd like to ask him about. So, yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts, Matt? I mean,
I think everybody's just tired of like Charlotte being shoved down everybody's throat. She's on every show. She's the main event of every show almost. I don't think they need to put her in like a bigger spotlight to go after a men's championship now, because then it just means more of the same thing. I want to see some other women highlighted more, except for Charlotte. I know they're trying to like fill the void of Becky because she was like the biggest
right.
women's star there is and was pretty much, but spread the wealth.
And as well as other stars who have not been able to participate because of the shutdowns and the quarantines too. I mean, so yeah, she's had to pick up a large part of the mantle, but I agree. I mean, it's just, people complained about Roman a couple of years back. Now we're seeing it again, like you always like to say, been there, done that, Scott.
Yep, absolutely. Unfortunately, like Matt said, Becky's out of action right now, and Alexa Bliss isn't in the mainstream anymore. Right. So who do they have that sells merchandise? And the only one out there though is Charlotte. But I think they could definitely just work the women's belts. I mean, Asuka does not sell merchandise. The Hugger. Or less than the Hugger. Yeah.
Well, now they're tag champs.
Yeah.
Right?
She's stopped selling merchandise since she's become a heel. So,
you don't have Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi. I mean,
yeah, where's she been all this time? What's up with Naomi?
She's been off and on, like hit and miss.
Injuries there.
Yeah.
But
and her husband.
Yeah.
Just pull the arm up so it's a little higher too. There you go. This way. There you go.
You got to teach him everything.
I'm telling you, it's lucky we could teach him how to ring a bell, for crying out loud. There you go. Exactly.
I can ring a bell.
There. All right. Speaking of which, next topic. Bobby Lashley. Is this a little too late? He's going to have a title run. Rumor has it, finally going up against Brock. Little too late at this point for everybody to see it?
Too little, too late, but he takes the belt this weekend.
Takes the belt this weekend. Interesting.
I think Drew McIntyre's going to retain. Maybe they'll give it to him later, but Drew's having such a good title run that even though there's no crowd, he's definitely gotten over a lot as a babyface, and I think they should hold it on him for a while.
Because theoretically, he's only had it 2 months, right?
Yeah.
True, but I think pure pressure, he gets the belt.
I'm done with Brock. I'm so over Brock with this, 3 appearances a year and hijacking the belt and all that. I mean, been there, done that already. It's it's enough. It almost goes back to what you were just talking about with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Somebody new here has the belt and Drew, right?
Yeah.
All right, Lashley having it would be okay, but then they're setting it up for Lashley and Brock to go at it down the line. I don't know.
Now they can get rid of the old Brock Lesnar. They said in an article they introduced the new Brock Lesnar over the weekend. And I'm sure we can all agree we can deal with
Karrion
Kross as the new Brock Lesnar, just destroying everybody. I'd love to see that.
Absolutely. Let me see. We're getting some predictions in the chat room. Chief says, let's see. Vince likes Drew. Thomas Burnett says, bold prediction, Scott. Chief says maybe moving some NXT women up to the main roster. So, we got some interesting thoughts coming in the chat room. Next topic. Go ahead, Scott. Why don't you take
Adam
this
Cole's contract's up in August. Rumor has it he might leave WWE for AEW.
I highly doubt that'll ever happen. People keep saying he has like a good relationship with the executive vice president of AEW, and his girlfriend's there. But with the push he's getting in WWE, and Vince and Triple H love him.
The trouble is for Adam Cole, though, is his size. He doesn't have the size that Vince likes in a WWE wrestler. Vince is, the big guys, 6'4" and up, and 300 pounds and built like a, what do you call it, shit house
Brick.
So yeah.
He's still got a hard on for Shawn Michaels, and he's about the same size as Shawn.
But Shawn is,
Mr. WrestleMania.
well, he's passed. I mean,
Yeah.
he was
he's-
10, 15 years ago.
Clarify past, please. Not dead past.
Not-
but
no.
like
Past
previous,
era.
Previous.
Yeah.
You know how some people are.
Still employed by WWE.
Still, yes. And he got into a little backstage tiff, apparently, if you read some of the stories. Over the weekend, he and somebody in the back, they were talking about today's social climate. And although it was a heated discussion, no fisticuffs. So anyway, a couple of comments in the chat room. Do you have somebody have their volume up again? Is that okay? That's our producer who has the volume up.
The
Jeez
one
Louise.
who's supposed to have the knowledge of everything.
Let's see some of the other stuff. Nick Ronaldo. Oh, Brandy Lowry. Shay, Brandy, good to see you in there.
Yep.
She's a big fan of Karrion Cross, of course. Oh my, oh my. Nick believes that Cole will be staying. He just re-signed a multi-year
Aaron?
deal.
Aaron,
Yes.
Nick is actually the gentleman who came in to Power Play Sports and bought the Killer Cross photo. Him and his friend. So
All right.
I didn't even have to give myself a cheap pop, huh?
Yeah, well,
absolutely,
that's okay. That's all right.
absolutely.
All right, so we know why Nick is on. No, we know why tonight. But I see Nick floating in there every so often. So
Yep.
we know why tonight because little birdie told him what our giveaway is tonight. So
Oh, yeah.
Chief says other sites say that Cole still has 18 months left on his contract. Will Richards says Adam Cole looks like Shawn. And Cross will be better than Brock. He's way better promos and everything. So not to mention his entrance. So a lot of great comments coming in. Is it his entrance or is it Scarlet? That's what I want to know.
Both.
That's it, right, a little of both, right? 702-329-6947 is our local number. If you're outside the U.S., 855-502-4321. Both numbers are there on the screen. Of course, our website, which huge kudos and shout out to Mr. Matt. He is our webmaster managing that. ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com. Tremendous information and stuff on there. Do check it out. News and notes and show links and our advertising stuff is up there and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
great stuff from that. All right, let's do this. We are a tad early. Let's go to our quick commercial breaks for Power Play Sports and for burnt offerings. And then we'll come back with our guest. How's that?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here at Go Live Vegas. We'll be back in 60 seconds. For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
Hi, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hey, I just want to mention one of our sponsors there, Burnt Offering Chef Jen. We did an interview with her yesterday on Time to Vegas. If you missed it, go to the Time to Vegas Facebook page. But I'm bringing this up because with a pay-per-view this weekend, Backlash, if you are having some folks over but you don't want to cook, you don't want to prepare nothing, you want to do something good, they have great food that makes for great appetizers. They have, right? Jason was there where we did some filming, right? What did you have there that day?
I had the wings.
You had the wings, right? And they do the mini hot dogs in a blanket they do, and the brisket is wonderful. So they also do great parties. So it's 848-BURN is the number. So They're located right at 3909 West Sahara. So make plans for your pay-per-view and at the same time buy stuff from Scott's store so he stays happy. Anyway.
That was the worst cheap pop I've ever heard.
Well, by the way, buy stuff over there too.
Well, we did 15 minutes at your store live the other
I
day.
know.
He gave you a 5-second speed commercial.
I know.
That's right. That's right. All right, with that, it is time that we officially introduce our guest. Born in Detroit, Michigan in November, way back when, Bill was trained. I don't like giving years and ages. Bill was trained for professional wrestling by Kurt Von Steiger in 1973 and had his first match in 1974 in Tucson, Arizona. Since that time, Bill has wrestled on several tours of Japan for the FMW promotion, wrestled in Canada, just about every state in the U.S., and during his wrestling days in Mexico, Bill held the WWA World Heavyweight Championship for over 1 year, and as the American Masked Mercenaries with Louis Spicoli and Tim Patterson were the WWA World Trios Champions for over 3 years. Top ring announcer, Bill Anderson School of Wrestling, started 1984. Please welcome to Thoughts Count Anywhere, Mr. Bill Anderson.
Hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
We can hear you just fine, Bill.
Excellent.
Welcome to Thoughts Count Anywhere. I hope I did okay on your bio intro because I read it just like you wrote it.
Very good. Thank you.
Appreciate you taking time to be with us. You know, Scott, we were talking about this before we went back on the air. You know, Bill, you've got some great stories. I know you do, and of course, the list of the wrestlers, all Hall of Fame caliber, from what I see in the short list in the bio. Where do you begin with a guy like Big Bill to talk, Scott?
Well, it's tough. I mean, do we talk about his in-ring days? Do we talk about his training? Do we talk about, his ring announcing, or what his hobby is now, which I love? And some people are like, what? He goes around and visits grave sites of very influential people, a lot of wrestlers, but just the other day at Marilyn Monroe. I mean, it's a hobby, and you know what? Some of these wrestlers don't get any respect, or after they've passed.
Sure.
And when he stands above their gravestone and points down to it, I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
And then it just
absolutely.
brings back the memory. So I really respected what he does. He takes the time out to do that.
All I know is after I tell my wife later tonight, Bill, what you do is a hobby, she'll never complain about me hat collecting ever again.
I would honestly rather spend time at a cemetery than any place on earth.
I bet. So I'm going to ask the obvious question. This is a great starting point. How did you get started in the business? What was the first time when you knew wrestling was for you, and how it grew from there? Take us back.
I can tell you the first influence I had on wrestling, or with wrestling, was John Tolis throwing the powder in Freddie Blassie's eyes in 1971. That was the moment I remember watching it live, and it hit me. I want to be a wrestler.
Was that in Cobalt Hall by chance?
No, that was in L.A. It was
Okay.
in L.A., I think at the Olympic Auditorium, and they did something at the TV studio too with that. I'm not really sure. My mind, after 1971 to now, it's so long ago, but it was the great influence on me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
John Tolis.
John Tolis and Freddie Blassie. I mean, two legends in the and that brought you into the into the business. So
Yeah,
now,
it was my influence. And then I went to Phoenix, Arizona. That was in California. I was living there at the time. I moved to Phoenix and ended up starting training with Kurt Von Steiger as a skinny teenager, 140 pounds, 6'2". And they tested me to see if I had the guts to keep coming back after they worked me to death. And I did.
which is
because
old school.
I wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah, and that's old school. They worked you. Nowadays they put you in the ring and they doing high spots by the second hour. Where
Exactly.
in that day you trained them. The people you trained with, in my opinion, we talked before the show with Red Bastien, and we'll get onto that soon. But in the day you came on, in the day that Nick Bockwinkel, who's like a father to me in the business, tells me going through Gagne's, camp and things like that, and how he trained people there too. We had one of the Hart family recently. Those were the training that the kids actually need to do now, because it's so showmanship. They need to learn the basics again.
Yeah, that's it. And I think a lot of the people nowadays don't learn the respect for the old timers, the guys that paved the way. I remember, and I'm telling you this, it's kind of embarrassing to even say this, but I had guys after training a year with me, they would ask me, "Oh, so you were a wrestler at one time?" And it's like, yeah. Do you not see the 6,000 pictures on my wall?
I have a.
I mean, at my school, it's like, are you kidding me? They don't research history.
No, they do not.
They do not. History is lost on previous generations. I have a question in the chat room from Jeff Bronk. It is one that I answered in your intro, but Bill, I would like you to answer it. He would like to know who was your trainer when you got in the business.
It was Kurt Von Steiger. Him and his working brother Carl were a great tag team in the Pacific Northwest. They worked the Carolinas. They worked all around Canada. And Kurt became a promoter in Phoenix, Arizona in 1973. And that's how I began my friendship with Kurt. And he trained me. And actually, I went up to Portland, Oregon for a while. It was my junior year of high school and lived up there with Kurt and his wife at the time and trained with Sandy Barr at the Portland Sports Arena for quite a while. Trained with Matt Bourne and Jesse Barr at different times. And just a young punk teenager.
If you have a question or comment for Big Bill while we have him, please give us a call at 702-329-6947. We'd love to put you on the air live so you can talk direct to Bill if you're outside the U.S., 855-502-4321. Send us a live tweet, and it'll appear up on the screen at #ThoughtsCountAnywhere. Okay, listen, your list of names that you've connected to either as a trainer, ring announcer, or even for that matter, who you went toe-to-toe with in a ring is a who's who of wrestling, and I'm looking at the names, and of course, many of them were names that I watched growing up. My first live event was in '76 when I saw Backlund beat superstar Billy Graham in the Garden for that first title. So many of these names on this list that I see going back are tremendous. Who was the very first person you stepped in the ring with that we today or people within the wrestling industry would have some semblance of knowing who it was?
Oh, it would probably be Gordman and Goliath.
Wow.
Great tag team from the 70s. That was on WWF shows in 1983 when Vince first expanded to the West Coast.
Right.
And wrestling Buddy Rose and Alexis Smirnoff.
The names.
And Paul Orndorff, for that matter. This is all in the early 80s, and Adrian Adonis. A lot of great talent.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps as you're saying the names. Matt,
well, those old shows were just loaded with talent. You had Ray Stevens and Mil Mascaras and Bob Backlund and Ivan Koloff that I worked on. Don Morocco, Pat Patterson. You could just go on and on and on. Jay Strongbow and so much beautiful, great talent. I love the 80s.
Yeah, Ray Stevens, in my opinion, doesn't get the just deserved from the national recognition.
One of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and Nick, I keep going back to Bockwinkel because he, like I said, he was like my father, and they were a great tag team, and they would tell me stories about him and Ray running around and doing things, and it was hilarious. But they worked hard, they played hard, and they were legends.
Yes, and Scott, when you mentioned those two, you have to throw in Bobby Heenan, of course.
Who, by the way, does not get any deserved credit for being one of the best wrestlers out there.
Again, people know him just from the 80s comical stuff he did with Gorilla Monsoon on TV. They don't understand Bobby was one of the greatest talkers and bump takers in the 60s and 70s for Vern Gagne and Dick the Bruiser's promotion. And what a great talent Bobby was, and just a beautiful man too. Great man that we've lost.
Absolutely.
Matt?
All right. Hey, Bill, with all the people you've trained like in the past, since we know you've trained like Sting and Ultimate Warrior, did you realize like what big stars they would become like from the beginning? Did you see like they had like it, or was there anybody else you trained where you just saw them and it was like,
that's
this
a
is
great
going to be a
question.
huge
I
star?
can tell you those two stood out from the class of 85 that we were training, myself and Red Bastien. There were 6 guys in that class for 3 months. Sting had exceptional leaping ability, which obviously he used in his career after that when he went on. I didn't realize, to be honest with you, the potential that they had completely, but I can tell you that they came to me in September of 85, and they had 2 options, 3 options actually. A man named Rick Bassman had financed their training with Red Bastien, and they came to me. They called me and says, "Let's meet at Gold's Gym, just the 3 of us, Jim, Steve, and myself." Says, we need to talk to you about our career. And they said, "You're the only guy we know that we can trust to give us an honest opinion that has no interest in our future as far as money or anything else. So what should we do? We can go to Jerry Lawler and wrestle. We have an option to go there, or Red Bastien can get us booked for Stu Hart. And this was in September of '85. And I says, look, guys, I suggest you go to Lawler. I wrestled in 1975 for Jarrett and Nick Goulis's promotion. Just a punk kid, 18 years old, wrestling with Chris Cole and Mike Boyette down there. I was just not even 18 years old. I was 17 when I was wrestling down there. And I says, I would go down there, get your experience. You're going to get low pay, but you need to wrestle every single night and get experience. That's what you need. I says, choose that direction rather than go to Calgary where it's going to be snow. No offense to Stu Hart and his beautiful promotion he had. But why go up and travel through snow drifts 100 feet high and freeze your butts off? I said, I would go to Tennessee where you could get that nightly experience down there. And that's what they did. And so that's where they went as the Blade Runners in '85. And that's where they ended up splitting off and going to Bill Watts and everything they did to eventually become world champions for the two big leagues.
By the way, our producer, Aaron E., he is from Calgary, and he takes issue with you about the weather and winters in Calgary. He says it's nothing.
And if our producer can bring up that, I call it the team photo again, that was there for the listeners.
No, I can pick out Sting in that picture.
Sting, you got Jim.
Yeah.
Angel of Death is in there. And in
and
my opinion,
Steve DeSalvo right there in the middle with the yellow shirt.
Which one was Warrior? I can't. Is that him in the back?
Warrior's
with
the one looking to the side.
Gotcha. Because that's Sting in the light blue T-shirt with the black tank on.
And let me tell you, that picture, those guys did not want to pose for that picture. I had to force them. I've always been big on taking my camera everywhere I go. And I said, look, let's just document our class here. And Red was like, okay, and Red got down. I can't even believe Red got down on one knee because his knees were so bad. But he got down there and posed for the picture. All the guys were mumbling, grumbling. Nobody wanted to pose for the picture, but I forced them. And little did I know it would become kind of a famous picture through the years, 35 years ago.
Hey,
so
Bill.
Who would have thought?
Bill, in that picture, I didn't know Phil McGraw was a big fan of wrestling to be in that picture. Dr. Phil? Was that him in the back in the red shirt?
That's Angel
that's
of Death.
Angel of Death, Dave Sheldon.
Oh, okay. Because it looked like Dr. Phil. That's why I was just wondering who it was.
Right.
I want to mention this. Going back to what Scott was talking about going to graves, I had the pleasure 5 years ago of going to Dallas, and I went to Dave Sheldon's place of rest. Paid my respects to that man. Dave was a very, very nice man to me. And all those guys were good in their class. Nobody gave any back talk. They trained hard, very hard. They were green as crap, and they didn't know anything starting out. They knew a little bit more by the time they were finished. Obviously, you got to get in front of a crowd to get your real experience. You can only learn holds so much, and then you got to get in front of a crowd. But I went and paid my respects to Dave Sheldon's grave, and it was very tearful paying my respects to his grave. And on that same topic, one more thing I want to mention. I documented just recently, not too long back, I went to Dr. Jerry Graham's place of rest in Riverside, California at the Riverside National Cemetery. And if you looked at his Find a Grave page a year ago, it would say ashes scattered, unknown burial, whatever. I straightened it all out. And I had one guy in California finally tell me where Dr. Jerry was laid to rest. And he sent me in the right direction, and I went there and documented it, filmed it, and took pictures, straightened out his Find a Grave page. Yes, there is a burial site for this great legend of a wrestler, and he managed myself and Tim Patterson in 1985. So I wanted to pay my respects and give Jerry his due that he is buried, and there is a place, if you choose, to go and stand over him. Shed a tear, tell a story, because everybody knows every Dr. Jerry Graham story is true. That's what Red Bastien always said.
I just want to do a quick reset, and then I don't know about your guys' chat rooms, but I got questions blowing up in here that I'll share. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere with Aaron Phillips, Scott Hosey, Matt Mullen, Jason, the bell ringer Piper, and of course our special guest today, Big Bill Anderson. 702-329-6947. Catch us on Twitch, YouTube, Go Live, the downloadable app. Twitter, I don't know, every place else we're on.
Everywhere.
We're everywhere. Send us a live tweet, hashtag Thoughts Count Anywhere as just as well. Please call us with your questions. So, Bill, let me fire away with one of the questions I have in here from Nick. Number one, he wants to know, did you ever wrestle in Las Vegas? If not, what is your favorite match of all time?
Yes, I've wrestled in Vegas many times.
Yep.
I wrestled for T.C. Martin's NWC promotion many years ago. Well, back in the 90s, mid-90s. I did TV tapings for WWF. I wrestled Harley Race at the Thomas and Mack Center for TV tapings. He was the king, Harley Race. Wrestled many matches in Vegas and done a lot of my death tours in Vegas too, at a lot of cemeteries. Been to Red Fox's grave, Tony Curtis, all the other celebs. But my favorite match of all time would be a WWF match I had with Wildman Jack Armstrong on a WWF show back in, I probably want to say about 1986. And Chief Jay Strongbow was the road agent. He told myself and Jack, it was a sellout crowd of 17,000 people. It needed a fill-in match, so he wanted Jack and I to go out and wrestle the opening match of the show. Well, we went out there and we went about 20 minutes and we did every move a human could do in the ring. And I got cussed out when I got back from Iron Sheik. He gave me a riot full of bad words about doing all these. I dove through the ring, I dove through the ropes, just, like Owen Hart. I did it all in my opening match. And Jack and I, we just went out there and had fun. And Chief says, Billy, I will never book you two together again. Ever, ever. That was our payoff.
I want to mention, we have that giveaway. So
Yes.
we have half a show left, so you want to start it?
Well, we'll do the giveaway, and Matt's going to run the giveaway, however he wants to do it.
Matt's going to do the giveaway.
I still haven't figured that part out yet.
So we want to do what we were talking about, or
Yeah.
for the first caller for the Lucha?
Yeah, we'll do the first caller who calls in after Bill is done.
All right,
because
there you
I don't
go.
want to take any time away from Bill. We can do
Then
the whole
I
show.
won't then I won't ask for any
But
callers.
the Lucha giveaway, or the Lucha Underground, is a 16 by 20 signed by about 12 of the Lucha Underground stars: Marty the Moth, White Rabbit, who is Karrion Kross, Mariposa, Mil Muertes, Vampiro, Brian Cage, Conan, Stryker, Killshot, Daga, Paul London, Johnny Mundo, Taya, Pentagon Jr., and Phoenix, and I'm out of breath.
I was going to say, it's probably like a shorter list as to who didn't sign the
Exactly. And if they're interested, when our anniversary at the store comes up in 2 weeks, we
be
will
another name
have
on
Jeff Cobb, who you can add to the Lucha Underground 16 by 20.
Right
2
on.
weeks. You mean this Saturday?
The
No,
20th.
the 20th.
That's next Saturday.
No, it's not.
Check your calendar.
That's why you ring a bell.
Exactly.
You got an iPhone.
I guess you got your calendar. I guess you got your calendar at a discount store.
Yes.
No.
Okay, 99. Okay, anyway. All right, Bill, another question I have for you, and then I know the guys have questions in their chat room. Who was the stiffest worker that you faced and the toughest guy on the other side? And the third one that I'll throw in there, what was it like wrestling in all the different territories?
Wow, you threw a lot at me.
Not me, it's our fans, Bill. It's our fans. I'm going to blame them.
Don't kill the messenger.
That's right.
The toughest guy I ever wrestled, unfortunately, was Adrian Adonis, who gave me 27 stitches in my mouth. He was, unfortunately, not 100%. I should be very nice and say, when he went into the ring in San Diego in 1984 and hit me with a low blow. And as I bent over for that, he came up with an uppercut and he didn't split my lip, but he gave me 27 stitches that were inside and outside my lip. And I had to not only finish that match, but I had to work the next night against Alexis Smirnoff because I didn't miss any bookings. That was all I did for a living, was wrestling. I'd say Adrian Adonis was my toughest, for the good and bad of it. I've been to Adrian's grave too in Bakersfield, and I paid respects to his grave, and I didn't let any of my personal dealings with him interfere with a very cordial and respectful tribute to him on my YouTube channel, which is Big Bill Anderson's Life Tours. And I always pay respectfully, no matter what personal animosity could have been involved. I didn't let that worry me. And I'm sorry, what was the rest of the question?
What was it
the
like?
territories?
Yeah, what was it like wrestling in the territories?
I came in at the very tail end of the territories. I wrestled in Memphis area, which encompassed about 7 states. We were in Indiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, all around that area. And I was there for a few months as Bill Colt. I had blonde hair with Chris, which was a crazy period of time. This is the 70s, mid-70s, 1975, with CB craze. And everybody was doing speed and all the rest, the drinking, guns, violence, everything was happening. I was just a young punk, and I got very badly influenced by a lot of that. But then I worked for Mike LaBelle in '82, and that was my thrill. Was working the Olympic Auditorium, was my dream. Was working for the Mike LaBelle and meeting John Tolis and Black Gordman and Goliath and a lot of guys that became very good friends of mine that I saw as a kid.
Matt, why don't you fire away with our ultimate question that we always ask our guests?
All right, I seem to ask everybody the same question every time we have somebody on with your history in the business. Who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Like your top 4 of all time?
Oh, well, Nick Bockwinkel would be there for sure.
God bless you.
Definitely Nick Bockwinkel. I'd say, and personally, honestly, I'd say Nick Bockwinkel, Jack Briscoe, Dory Funk Jr., and Red Bastien.
Wow.
Those are some people that come to my mind real quick. I always respected Briscoe, great amateur wrestler, and he held the NWA title. I saw him work in Portland, Oregon against, I want to say Mad Dog Bashan and Dutch Savage up there in 74, late 73 and early 74. And he held the title with such respect, and he represented the business, and I loved it. I loved meeting him in 2003. He came back to CAC. He came to CAC, and I took pictures with him. And I told him that 30 years before, I took a picture with him in Portland, Oregon, and he was so graceful in allowing me to take the picture. I just appreciated it, and Jack was just a class act. And I tell Jerry that every time I've seen him since, that I know you miss your brother, but I do too. I miss the class that he brought to the sport, just like Nick Bockwinkel, which Mr. Class, Nick Bockwinkel, without a doubt. And I shed a lot of tears like you did, Scott.
Oh,
over
absolutely.
the passing of Nick Bockwinkel.
And, I see Darlene every now and then, and I just give her a big hug. The other man you mentioned there, nobody I can think of in the business can ever say anything negative about is Red Bastien, which
exactly.
you spent, time training with him, and Bill.
Red was just a great man, a great friend, and I just had nothing but respect. There's nothing I wouldn't have done for Red Bastien.
Absolutely.
Even get in the ring with 6 guys bigger than me and let them pound the crap out of me. And which is what I did in training Sting and Warrior and those guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Because in those days, I was really dumb in '85. I let them guys do the moves on me instead of so much on each other, because I wanted them to experience a pro doing the other part of the move, like a body slam. I wanted to show them what it felt like to lift somebody up. So I would be the dummy to let Dave Sheldon, who was 6'7", throw me around the ring.
Jeez.
So,
Angel of death.
But, that's what it is,
Well, Bill,
I love those.
We are coming up on already taking up too much of your time. I'd love to have you back so we can talk more about history.
Absolutely.
And Bill, love you to death. Hope to see you soon. If you're ever back in Vegas, I'm buying lunch. We'll all go out. Maybe we can have you down here at the studio and do a whole hour of just your, I don't want to say death tours, but your life tours. And
I would love it.
I think that would be a great thing. So, Bill,
yeah, definitely.
I appreciate you spending the time with us this evening, and thank you. That's all I can say. Just thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I thank you for letting me share some stories. I got a lot more.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything, anytime, and I would love to do that show in your studio, because I am going to be coming to Vegas a couple of times in the near future.
Right on. We look forward to it.
Scott.
Absolutely.
We look forward to it. Thank you. Thank you,
Big Bill
Thank
Anderson.
you, Aaron. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Gentlemen.
Tremendous. Big Bill Anderson. I mean, I know we haven't even scratched any surface with what he can tell us.
I looked over at the clock and I'm like,
I know.
We're almost an hour.
I know. That's why. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to go to our last break a few minutes early so that when we come back, people better start dialing that number with the last 15 minutes of the show. You're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Us And you will be back in 60 seconds.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
For all your sports collectibles in Las Vegas, stop by Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall. Power Play has a large selection of items from all your favorite teams, specializing in the Vegas Golden Knights, Las Vegas Raiders, and pro wrestling. Power Play Sports Collectibles has an online store if you prefer the online shopping experience, plus they ship worldwide. So if you're looking for that sports collectible for yourself or that special someone, check out Power Play Sports Collectibles online at www.powerplaysportscards.com or at the Boulevard Mall. All right, let's call it as it is. People are trying to call in during the break for the giveaway.
We haven't opened the phone lines
We
yet.
have not opened up the phone lines, and now I've got somebody else calling in. Anybody who's calling in right now, I'm not answering the phone because you're early. It's like football.
We will do a countdown.
You're off sides. Exactly. You're off. Hang up the phones. Clear the phone lines. No one is count. We're going to give you the countdown. We'll tell you. They've got another call coming in. We will tell you when to call. Anybody calling right now does not count.
Yes. You will be disqualified.
We will get there. You go. We
we
cleared
can
the
see
phone
who
lines.
it is.
And I've got your caller ID right here in front of me. I don't know. My green light is still blinking like someone's there, sir.
I think somebody left a message.
Well, that could be. That could be.
So the giveaway, just so everybody knows, is a 16 by 20. It is framed. It's signed by about 12 of the Lucha Underground stars: Marty the Moth, Killer Cross, who was White Rabbit, Mariposa, Mil Martes, Vampiro, Cage, Mundo, blah, 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 blah.
Just buy the damn picture. You'll see all the signatures. Or get the picture.
So the other picture, and if we can get a
Yes.
studio shot, the picture next to him, and I don't know if maybe
Do you have-
Jason,
Jason, can you just grab that if you
grab
don't mind?
that. These are two items that
By
I
the time
just,
he gets there, the show's
I know.
going to be over.
These are two items that I just got in today. They will be on sale at the store on Saturday the 20th.
There we go. And we have another one there. Why don't you get a little closer to
Go
the
a little
camera?
closer,
Hold it
go
up there.
a little closer to the camera.
And hold it up in the light a little
Yes,
bit.
exactly.
All right, sit down. I'll
Sit
put the
down.
camera on you. There we go.
Yeah,
All right,
it's a
there we go.
lithograph, 22 by 36 or something like that. It is a
Tilt it to your
lithographed,
right. Tilt it to your right. Your other
Other
right.
right.
Jeez Louise.
signed by Ric Flair and Sting.
Yes.
And then the next one, I don't know if Matt, would you do that on?
Actually, if we have the camera
Oh,
right
yeah,
here, we
right
can
there. We
use the
have
little one. Matt, right here in front of you there. Just put it in front of the little one. There you
There you
go.
go.
There you
There.
go. See if we can switch the yeah. There we go. No, not that one.
I was just so proud of these items coming in
All right,
today.
hold it in front of you, Matt, since apparently our producer wants you to do that instead. So
It
face
is-
your camera. Face your camera. This way. To your left.
I don't know.
There you go.
It's an 11 by 17.
Podcasting for first timers right here on Go.
It's a comic book cover of the Fantastic Four Horsemen, signed by Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and J.J. Dillon.
Love it.
And those are courtesy of High Spots. I bought them, and
That's the giveaway when we tell people to start calling.
yeah. And
Which
these
is
will,
not right now.
I have
Which is
two
not
of these.
right-
They'll be at the store on the 20th, the day we do the anniversary.
Yes, and from the last hour, 2 to 3 o'clock on that Saturday, the 20th, right?
20th.
Unlike that's 2
Not-
weeks from
2
now.
weeks from now.
Not this
Saturday the 20th.
Okay. A special Thoughts Count Anywhere live podcast will be there to help celebrate the 1 year anniversry with you.
Yeah, do you
Although
have-
you all may be busy with the signers, I'll just probably have to anchor
You'll
myself.
do the walk
but-
around.
Yeah.
Now, Aaron, can you pull up the flyer if you don't mind? Yeah. Absolutely. And on the anniversary,
I can just see everybody waiting to dial the numbers.
I know, and we're doing this on purpose.
Of course.
Yeah, we've got two
Dial
special
now,
guests.
right now.
No,
don't do that.
No.
Ricardo
Ricardo.
Rodriguez and Jeff Cobb, WWE star and Lucha Underground champion Jeff Cobb, will be there signing free autographs.
Free. At where?
Power Play Sports Collectibles in the Boulevard Mall.
There you go.
We will have 8x10s for purchase if you don't want to bring your own items. One autograph per person while supply lasts, the time. And everybody's asking about photo ops. Right now, no photo ops because of the social distancing. We don't want to cause any stir of commotion or upset
we
the mall.
We don't want the mall to get pissed at us.
So
because we want them to sponsor the shows.
Absolutely. But if you need more information, email us at info@thoughtscountanywhere.com, or you can email me directly at shosey or store@powerplaysportscards.com, and we will answer all your questions. So with that being said, should we be like NASA right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. For the caller, number
Mission
1
control.
at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the phone lines.
702-329-6947. First caller, dial now.
Now
and
nobody's going to call
I
in.
know, and everybody's pissed, so we're going to say, screw them. No, but you get that Lucha Underground poster. Call now, 702-329. You all practiced it during break.
We're sitting here.
Scared.
I should not have. There we
There we go.
All right.
Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead.
Thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere. Your name and where are you calling from, and how are you listening to us right now? What's up? Nick?
Hello?
Hey, Nick.
Hello?
Hello. Is this Nick?
Yes, this is Nick.
Nick, you got in, buddy, when we told you to. Congratulations.
I've heard a scream like that before. So the people that are calling
That was
in
me
now,
when Tessa
yeah,
opened the door.
yes.
And Alexa Bliss.
No, we still have other people still trying to
Yeah,
get in, but
it is gone.
gone. So everybody else hang up except for Nick. Nick, well, how are you listening to us, by the way? Are you watching us on Facebook?
Yeah, we're watching you on our Facebook, on our phone. We got you pulled up everywhere.
Right, and I know you just had us up everywhere just so you know when to dial in, I bet.
Too, but also the big Bill Anderson, you guys got to bring him back on for another hour. Like, that was too good. He's got way too many stories and way too much information that I think all of us want to, dive into as well with you guys.
And thank you for saying that, and we do plan on that when he comes into Vegas. Hopefully, if he comes in relatively
We can do a
soon.
special show. Come right down here to the studio. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, listen, thank you for watching, and we appreciate you following the show. And of course, I know Power Play Sports in the mall also is happy that you support Scott as well. I don't know where I was going with that.
And Jason will have the 16x20 down at the store tomorrow. So if you want to stop down and spend like $400 or $500 more, I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Hey, shout out Power Play Sports, shout out TCA, and my boy Jason.
All right, Nick, thank you, man.
How much
Appreciate
did you
it.
pay him, Jason?
I was going to say. Now, all the other callers that are calling
undisclosed
in,
amount.
let's pick up the next call. Maybe they just want to ask us a question as a consolation prize. Thank you for calling. Oh, see, they hung up. See?
Yes.
All right. I guess the consolation prize are just talking to
Now,
us.
for the
Wasn't good
people
enough.
who really, 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 really wanted that,
Yes. Do you have one for sale?
we have them down at the store for sale. And that, believe it or not, that poster down there is $150 in the store.
That's
It's signed
great.
by 12 people. So congratulations to him.
Thank-
And we do have them down at the store, and we'll have them for the Jeff Cobb signing, too.
Thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere. Who's this, please?
Hey, this is Sean here with Nick, who just won the Lucha Underground poster.
Yeah, did he sneak it out from under you?
Yeah, he spoke me.
Do you know Nick?
Yeah, we're chilling here right now watching the show.
Oh, you're both sitting next to each other.
They both bought
Yeah.
Killer Cross 16x20.
Oh.
They
Who?
both did. Killer Cross.
Carrying Cross.
Carrion.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, so
The White Rabbit.
So what you guys are going to have to do, obviously, since you're friends, is work out a schedule. How many days at your house? How
One
many
gets
days
it
at his
Monday,
house?
one
Right.
gets it Tuesday.
Exactly. Or
Nah, that's going to be all his.
Or buy one at Power Play Sports Cards. Power Play Sports.
30% off.
30% off now through June 30th. Anything at the store.
Yeah. June 20th. You can't
No,
even
but
get
that's
the
the
store.
anniversary. But didn't you?
20th.
Aren't you
You
doing
said
30% all month?
No, just to the
Never mind. Till June 20th. We'll see you on the 20th if nothing else. The hell do I know around there?
exactly.
The
No,
hell?
for the listeners out there, up until our anniversary, which is Saturday, June 20th.
He doesn't even know what it is anymore.
Everything in the store is 30% off. We're going to have giveaways. The live podcast, a Power Play, and TCA will be there. And come on down. We're going to be giving away stuff. We're going to be doing drawings, free autograph guests. Just come down and have fun. And also see the rest of the stuff at the Boulevard. They've done a lot of work with the movie theaters. Hopefully, maybe they'll be open at that time. No studios releasing anything, but we've got Heads Up, we got Sequest, we got everything else.
Sean, thank you for calling, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, we're down to less than 10 minutes, and we still have a whole run sheet to get through. Let's just pick out a couple of quick items in the WWE report, or do we want to just talk about Backlash?
I think we only talk about the one thing everybody in Las Vegas wants to talk about, the new superstar of NXT, which all of us knew anyway was Karrion Kross.
Right.
Your guys' thoughts?
I just want to know how quickly before he puts a belt around his waist. That's what I want to know.
I was kind of surprised when Adam Cole came out tonight. I was kind of hoping Karrion was going to come out and challenge him for the belt right then and there.
We haven't
but
seen the end of the show.
the main event's on right now,
Yeah.
so we'll see. He hasn't come out yet.
Well,
Vince McMahon, though, speaking of Karrion Kross and his opponent from the other night, Ciampa, Vince McMahon not happy between Randy Orton and Ciampa with their Twitter war, and then Orton's wife getting involved. What the
yeah,
hell
you
is
and I
that
had
about?
a conversation about
It's
that.
enough already.
No.
All right. Of course, we do want to mention the wrestling industry lost someone yesterday or today.
A dear friend of mine also, and we should have talked about it with Bill, but Mr. Wrestling 2, Johnny Weaver,
Right.
passed away I think yesterday. He was a good guy, great in the Georgia area, great feuds with Mr. Wrestling, and then later tagged. God rest your soul.
Absolutely.
And definitely we will miss you.
Richie from our buddy Richie from Minnesota. Big Bill, what a delight. Total class. Be great as an hour-long show. Old school guest when Bill visits Vegas. So absolutely. Oh, friend of the family's, Rita Tifford just joined. She lives back in New Jersey. So Rita.
Joyzy?
Joyzy. Rita, thank you for checking in there real quickly. All right. Couple more minutes. Let's quickly go over the slate for Backlash real quickly. Just winners and losers, your predictions. We talked about the heavyweight belt. Universal Champ Braun Strowman, Universal Champ Strowman takes on Morrison and The Miz.
Strowman.
He has
Strowman
to, right?
retains.
Yeah, I mean, is it a championship match or is
Yeah.
it is a
It's a
championship?
handicap Universal Championship
Gotcha.
match.
Okay. Well, he's got to retain it. It's going to be ridiculous if they don't. Raw Women's Championship, Asuka and Nia Jax. Cracker Jacks.
Well, we know what Scott's going to say. He doesn't want Nia to have the belt.
Right.
I think it'd be a disgrace to put it on her. Somebody who's just, no. But I hope Asuka retains.
Oh, wait a minute. Brandy's
not happy.
Brandy's pulling a you-know-who kind of thing because she didn't watch the show yet.
It
was 3 days ago,
I'm
Brandy.
sorry, Brandy.
Close your ears.
Karrion Kross lost in the first 30 seconds. He jobbed to...
And if you didn't know that by
Velveteen
watching
Dream.
NXT tonight, come on now. Jeez. All right.
And Brandy, your photos were ordered. She put in an order on, through the Facebook thing. She wants this. And your photos were ordered, and they should be here by the time of the anniversary.
Right on.
Yes.
All right. Triple threat for the women's tag team champions. Of course, we have, where did it go? I just saw Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross takes on the champs Sasha Banks and Bayley versus the Iconics. All right,
And
gentlemen.
New women's tag team champions, Iconics.
You know what? I have a funny
You
feeling.
did that way too well.
I know. You know what? Jason, I don't disagree with you. I have a funny feeling.
Yeah.
I mean,
They didn't want him to lose to Alexa.
Right.
And...
Take it off Bailey. Bailey does not deserve the belt.
Bayley and Sasha have just lost their...
Their fire?
Yeah, they're... the click.
U.S. Championship, Andrade and Apollo Crews.
Andrade.
I think Apollo Crews retains.
Apollo Crews.
Yeah, but after all that's been going on, I don't think he'll drop it in 30 days.
That's why I'm thinking Bobby Lashley. I hate to say it, but, just...
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
I know. All right. Real quickly, Impact News.
Impact News, I'll take it since you always just, start drooling over the name.
Fine.
The way to get Tessa Blanchard the belt offer is to put her up against 4 guys.
There you go.
God bless you, Tessa. We will be seeing you somewhere else very soon, and you'll be much more appreciated.
Thomas, our buddy Thomas, is responding to our concern about Brandy not seeing it. He says, she's got cable, so she's behind.
Oh.
Wow, that was very good.
Weren't they all at like a NXT like watch party at like
I
the
thought so.
FSW
Yeah,
arena?
and Brandy was in that picture.
Thomas agrees with me.
What's that? Oh,
Well,
yeah.
actually-
Well, they've been teasing a Sasha push and a turn on
No,
Bailey
you're
forever.
reading the wrong name.
What?
Oh, you're
Oh,
looking
about
at
Lashley.
Chief, yeah.
About
We have two
Lashley.
Thomases, yeah.
I know.
right in a row.
Right in a row. All right.
Should come up as Chief. I would.
Yeah,
rather-
Chief, change your goddamn Facebook page name.
Wow.
Hey, wow.
He's
Because old
gonna
guys
come ring
like
your bell.
That's
Old
okay.
guys, really?
The old guys here on the set has trouble reading names. All right, couple of quick pop culture news items. I don't know if you guys don't have them, but I wrote a couple down. Did you see the fish the marlin Michael Jordan caught yesterday in this competition?
That was nuts.
442.3 pound marlin in this marlin contest down in North Carolina.
It's a work. It was plastic.
He was part of some competition that was going on down there, and he is 442 pounds. That's bigger than Frank the Tank in Big Valley Wrestling, because that's where he weighs in. That's crazy. It's huge. Okay.
How do you know that?
Because I do Big Valley Wrestling. That's why I'm the voice of
You're
Big
the
Valley
voice of
You're the
everything.
voice of
I am.
everything.
I'm the voice of Go Live Vegas, the voice of Big Valley Wrestling, hopefully the voice of Versus. And I'll talk to Wes about that next week when he's on with us.
Oh yeah. By the way,
yes.
Let our listeners know
Yes,
we will have.
I just
Wes.
said it.
Yeah, but you didn't really give them the true.
No, I
the
really
push.
didn't.
Next
Go
week
ahead,
we'll
you
have
do it.
Wes from Versus Wrestling down here to talk about things going on at the Boulevard Mall and
Yes.
Versus Wrestling.
Yes.
So tune in next
Big
week
news.
at TCA. I'm going to start doing the voiceovers.
Yes,
Same
okay.
bad time,
Okay.
same bad channel.
There you go. There it is. Look at that fish. Look at that marlin. Jeez Louise.
That looks like something they hang up at Universal Studios. You just take a
Yeah,
picture. with.
Jaws,
It's
right?
Jaws.
Look at that. That's crazy. 442 pounds.
I think they just saw him walking by and go, "We're going to be famous. Put Michael Jordan in the picture."
Yeah,
I say, what do you think the actual odds of him touching the reel was?
Yeah.
There's like too many people over there.
Aaron,
Well, they said it was captured by the crew.
He said
Yeah.
it was my boat, so it's my fish.
Aaron Chief just chewed you out on the.
What did he say?
Don't,
Where is he?
Don't talk to me like that. I'll cut you off at the knees, even though you got a great shirt on.
That's right, Chief. So I
My
figured-
money's on Chief.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this, and if Chief doesn't do it, Carrion will.
here's the funny thing. My money would be on Chief also.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. All right. Did you guys see the new ad that came out last night for Vegas? Throwing that, I put it in the chat group.
Yeah.
The guy throws the light switch. We're open, and how it just I thought it was great.
It's going to be funny when he goes to...
In the fall, it'll go the other way.
all I can say, and I'm not trying
thought
to
it was
be
great.
political, but I will. We've
That's
opened
you.
Vegas. Please be careful. Be
Yeah.
safe. Wear masks. Just don't put us backwards.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford to do that in Las Vegas. So just take the time, be courteous to one another, and just be safe.
Now, if you haven't checked it out, it is online, this We're Open campaign. I thought it was great. All right, two quick topics I'm just throwing out there. Yeah, we have about a minute left in the
Don't
show.
forget his clock's wrong.
Wait, that's true. That's true. We got it still about 2 minutes. All right. This comes from, in my mind, the bucket of, like, have we gone too far? Okay. Warner Brothers has decided, moving forward, in their cartoons for Elmer Fudd
Yes, I heard this.
and Yosemite Sam, no more weapons in their hands. So my question to you, gentlemen, when it's duck season, what the hell's Elmer Fudd going to use to get down?
slingshot.
Or wabbit season.
Or rabbit seed? What is he going to use?
A slingshot.
A slingshot?
That's still a weapon.
It's still a weapon. But they are actually
He's going to kill him with kindness.
Send your comments to Scott at Thoughts Count Anywhere. Anyway, so I just, to me, okay, whatever. So I'm not going to get in there.
Completely ridiculous.
Right? Absolutely.
Well, the
And-
other thing I thought was ridiculous, and I'm like I said, it just
It's like they're catering to snowflakes.
yeah. My daughter learned that term in school, or said it in school, and had to go for parent conference.
Snowflakes and Karens.
Did you really? Did you have to go
yeah,
for a conference
exactly.
on that?
Yeah, she's done things like that, but I am proud of her. But the one thing that HBO Plus removed off their library today
That is absurd.
was Gone with the Wind.
Are you kidding? I mean, it's
It's a classic.
Because of one thing.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And you know what? if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it.
So that means goodbye to Dukes of Hazzard and every other show that has it.
Or
I
Huckleberry
could get
Finn,
that.
Tom Sawyer, all those stories.
Yep, exactly.
Roscoe P. Coltrane. Last topic. NASCAR. Now he rings the bell.
Hey,
Show's over and he's ringing the bell. NASCAR today announced shortly before we went on the air that they are dropping the Confederate flag from NASCAR and everything. They are dropping the Confederate flags. Jason?
One thing to say about that. The NASCAR driver that complained about that flag owns the original General Lee, Lee 1, and had the car that had the Confederate flag on it, and then made them turn it into an American flag because he got a lot of heat over it.
Jeez.
With that being said, send your comments and
That's right.
criticisms to
Jason
Piper 54 at thoughtscountanywhere.com.
By the way, Chief just put in the chat room a loud what because of the Warner Brothers thing. So.
And Bill Anderson has joined our watch party too.
Oh, he has. Bill can't get enough of Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Like I said, when he comes in,
I was going to say, Bill, I'm hoping that he had been watching ever since his interview ended. Big people are calling for an hour show here with you, Bill. So we got to make those plans to get you in here live soon, so we can make that happen. All right.
A good friend of superstar Billy Graham, which he's in bad health right now. I wish him well.
He's been in bad health for a long time, though, hasn't he?
And God bless you, sir.
Absolutely. All right. With that, another piece of news: CrossFit, which you guys know is near and dear to my heart. The CEO of CrossFit, big office, he made a comment that people didn't like on Twitter. And after many affiliates, after many CrossFit affiliates dropped the CrossFit name and left, he resigned today. And there's a new one of the executives stepped up to be the new CEO of the company. So stuff happens. Stuff is turning
funny.
over. No, I was just.
You looked at me funny. I'm insulted. I'm leaving.
I always look at you funny.
I know.
All right, closing comments, Jason.
Sorry, Thomas, for upsetting you.
Matt.
Everybody have a good week. Check out our website, thoughtscountanywhere.com. There might be a giveaway or something on there this week.
And if there's something
that
they
they
want to
figure
see,
out how to do.
And if they want to see something on the website, how do they reach out to you? As a suggestion, maybe they want to.
If you want to if you check out our website, you see something we should add or not have on there, something you think we can make it better. Email me at matt@thoughtscountanywhere.com or info@thoughtscountanywhere.com.
Chief shares also that Dominic DeNucci is also in bad health as well.
Yes, very true.
I remember that name from my days of starting to watch wrestling. All right.
Had a stent put in his
Did he really?
heart, this past week.
Jeez. All right, Scott, final thoughts before we say goodbye.
I have no thoughts anymore.
His thoughts don't count anymore
No,
anywhere.
not even.
So, all right, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Again, Big Bill Anderson, we thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely.
More to come from him in the future for sure. We appreciate you, our fans out there who want to see more of Bill on with us and sharing more and more stories. For everybody here, have a safe, great weekend. Next week, Wes Logan versus Pro Wrestling right here in studio. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. For the crew, be safe, be happy. We'll see you next week right here on Thoughts Count Anywhere.